Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing another questions video, and this one is the throwback tag video. So basically these are just going to be questions that relate to my childhood or teen years or just basically growing up and stuff. And let's get stuck into it. Question 1. What year were you born in? I was born in 1993, so I am a 90s baby. Question number 2. Do you have any pictures of yourself from when you were younger? If you do, show them. I'm sure there's heaps and heaps of pictures around. I'll see if I can find any and put them up somewhere in the video. If not, apologies. Question number 3. What TV shows did you grow up watching? Okay, so if we're talking about when I was like a toddler and like a little kid, I'd watch like Wiggles, High Five, just all those like kid shows. And then as I got a bit older, I got into like Recess, Kim Possible, Lilo and Stitch, Kids Next Door, all those like shows on like Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, whatnot. Question number 4. What did you want to be when you grow up, and do you still want to be that? Okay, so growing up I've always had different aspirations. I'd always, for a year or anywhere between 6 months to a year, I'd find one thing I was good at and just go for that, just keep doing it, but then get bored of it, so I'd be like, alright, time to find something else, find my other muse. There was a stage when I wanted to be an interior designer and an architect, and this was like when I was like legit like a little kid. Like I used to draw houses and buildings and stuff on paper, and then I'd have like Legos and stuff, and I'd build houses and build little furniture inside and just decorate the houses and be like, oh, I wonder what would happen if you put like this piece of furniture there or this way or whatever. So I really liked doing design and architecture and stuff, but then I don't know, after that I kind of moved on to designing clothes and especially girls' clothes and stuff. I just feel like girls have a lot more range when it comes to clothes. So I don't know, I was just interested in like drawing clothes and doing fashion design and whatever, so I did that for a long time, and then I just kind of gave that up. And then I got into like a little music phase, and where I used to just like try and play around with random instruments. I couldn't really find one that I was like really good at, so I never really stuck with the whole music phase. And then I went through a cooking phase and stuff. Like I wanted to be maybe a chef when I got a bit older. I just loved cooking and recipes, and I found that when I was in the kitchen and making food and cooking and stuff, it was just me, and I could just experiment and make absolutely anything I wanted. So I went through that phase and stuff, but I don't know, I never really had one specific thing that I worked for. I'd always go through like different phases of my life working for like different things and stuff, and yeah. But in saying that, I never thought I'd be like a YouTuber, that's for sure. I never thought I'd be like making videos and whatnot, but here I am. Question number 5. Show a video of yourself when you were younger. Now, I'm not too sure how young they want, but we never had like a recorder or a camcorders or anything, so I don't think I can find any videos of myself. But if you want to see videos from like 3 years ago, I guess you could watch my old YouTube channel and see like videos from like way back in the day, like 2012, 2011. Question number 6. What were your favourite toys to play with? Okay, so this relates back to what I wanted to be. I love playing with Lego and stuff, and I love like designing things, and like I didn't play with toys like in a normal way that like normal kids should. I'd always be like optimizing them, like, oh, here's some Lego, let's build a house out of that, let's design a house. Like I would just build rooms, and I don't know, like I just wouldn't play like, oh, here's a little character and here's another character, blah blah blah, whatever. Like I don't know, I don't want to sound like cocky, but I feel like I was too smart for that. But I don't know, I think my favourite toys were Lego and stuff, so that's that. Question number 7. What's the most embarrassing thing you can remember doing? I feel like when it comes to embarrassing things or like bad moments, like my mind just like deliberately tries to forget those things, because it's like, why would I want to remember that? God, I actually can't think of anything right now. I'll skip that question because I honestly can't remember any embarrassing things that have happened. Question number 8. Read something you wrote when you were in kindergarten. Okay, once again this relates to me being like too smart and everything for when I was younger. I didn't go to kinder. Back then it wasn't compulsory. You didn't have to go, so my parents just chose not to send me there. Growing up and stuff, me and my mum would often do like puzzles for each other or just different activities and stuff that I guess she thought, why do that at kinder when they can do it here? So my personal development grew so much at home that by the time I got to prep, I was already at like level 1 standard, if that makes sense. Like I actually have the paperwork and stuff to prove this, but when I was doing the AIMS test, I don't know if you guys remember that, but like now it's called NAPLAN, but back in the day when it was called AIMS test, I was always like 2 years ahead of myself. So in grade 1, my results said that like, it goes where your child should be at and where your child is. It said like I should be at grade 1 standard, but then it said my standard was at grade 3, and then so on for grade 3 to grade 5. When I was in grade 3, it said like, oh, your standard's like grade 4 or 5 standards. Yeah, it just relates back to that question, like I didn't go to kinder, there was just no need for me to go, so. Question number 9, 3 songs you loved to listen to as a child. Okay, I guess when I was younger, I think maybe grade 6 or 7 or something, I can't remember how old I was pretty young, but my songs I used to love listening to was, I loved Get Right by Jennifer Lopez. The second song was Promiscuous, I think it's called, yeah, by Nelly Furtado, and that other guy. And what's another song I loved? I think when Don't Ya came out, that was like everyone's jam, like everyone's ringtone and stuff. Like, I don't know, it was just such a like catchy, dancey song. So yeah, I guess those are the top 3 songs that I loved when I was little. Question number 10, what was one funny thing you dressed up as for Halloween when you were younger? Okay, some of my friends in my old house can vouch for this, but I remember just going like as a ghost, and like I was so like uncreative in terms of like dressing up and stuff that I literally just got like a white sheet, and then like I cut like 2 holes in it like a ghost, and then like I was going down the street like dressed up as a ghost. It was the funniest thing. It was literally the funniest thing. Oh my god. Question number 11, tell a funny story of something you remember happening when you were younger. Okay, so when I was probably 4 or 5 or something, I can't remember. It was when I was really young. Me and my brother were sitting on these 2 plastic chairs, but we were sitting on top of my mum and dad's bed, and we were sitting on these plastic chairs on the bed, right? So yeah, and then out of nowhere we decided to bounce the chairs up and down, because like, you know how like beds can be jumpy and stuff. Well, we were sitting on a bed, then sitting on, no, we were sitting on a chair and then sitting on the bed, but like our own ones, but like we were just bouncing up and down. And because we started going at different rhythms and whatnot, it started to make the bed like a bit like or whatever. And then out of nowhere, I just remember like we were bouncing so hard and so high and out of rhythm, and then something happened when I just like, I think one of the legs snapped, and I just fell off the bed, and like I just, oh my god, like I can't remember what happened after that, but I just remember falling off the bed, and then I was just like laying down like screaming, like because I was in pain or something. But I was also a bit like in shock of what just happened. But yeah, you had to be there to find it funny. But I don't know, I just remember myself falling off the bed, and I'm pretty sure there's photographic evidence that my mum has somewhere. But yeah, so that's probably one of the funniest things that happened to me. Question number 12. Are there any special things you've kept from when you were a child? I remember when I was in, I think, grade 1 or grade 2 or something, we were in art class, and we got to make these like little clay sculpture things, and I decided to make like a little shoe, but make it as like a holder or something. So I made this like little clay looking shoe. No, it wasn't clay looking, it was clay, and it looked like a shoe, but like it had a big like opening like mouth thing at the top, so you could put stuff in it. So my mum kept that for like sentimental value, and when I actually used to use it, I'd put like pens or markers or just like texters or stuff, or like Sharpies or stuff. Like I would just put them in there, and that would be like my kind of like stationery holder. So I only use that at home, but I don't know, it was a pretty cool thing like that I made. So yeah, I've kept that. There's plenty more stuff. I've got tubs just literally right over there. It's got bookwork from when I was little, like just books and stuff from when I was little, like all writing and everything, little different toys that I used to have, little different items or whatnot. So I'm sure there's so much stuff. I can even see like a little origami thing that I made. I can see some paper that I ripped out and did a drawing on. Yeah, so there's like a whole tub of like sentimental stuff, I guess. Like I never really look at it, but it's there, it's in my room. Yeah. Question number 13. What was something weird you used to do as a child? Okay, this is really strange, but like, so obviously when you're little and like you can sleep with your parents or stuff, like sometimes like if I'd sleep in the same bed, like I'd sleep on one side, but I'd prefer to sleep on the side that had the clock on it, and we had digital clocks, right? So you know how like with digital clocks these days, how like for one it's like half a line and then another half a line to make one, and then like for two it's like line, 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 line. I don't know, like you get what I'm saying, right? So for some reason this weird little thing I used to do was like I'd count the numbers, like I'd take 1 minute to try and count all like the number of half lines there were throughout the whole of the digital like clock. So let's just say it was 12:34. It would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I don't know, and then I'd count it backwards, and I don't know, it was just this really stupid little thing I used to do. I don't know why I did it, and then I don't know, it would help me fall asleep, so I don't know. Question number 14. What's the scariest thing you remember that happened to you when you were younger? Now, I can recall 2 really scary things that happened to me when I was younger. It didn't involve any people or anything, but it was just personal, like, scary things that happened to me. The first thing was I used to, like, full be into, like, BMX and everything, and riding my bike everywhere, and, just doing tricks and stuff. But there was this one time where there was this giant hill, and it had like sort of like a dirt patch where you could ride down from the top to the bottom, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, because I was with my parents and they're like, oh yeah, it's time to go, let's go. So I was like, alright, I'm gonna like take this on. So I was on my bike and I started riding down from the very top of the hill down this little dirt patch, and as I got about a quarter of the way down, my bike started wobbling because the tires were just like stuffing up because there was rocks and dirt and all this other stuff. But so I started wobbling, and then out of nowhere I lost control of my bike and just started tumbling down. So for 3/4 of the hill I was tumbling down, my bike was hitting me, I was getting stabbed by like all the rocks and dirt and everything, and by the time I got to the bottom of the hill I was crying and screaming so much, like I was in so much pain, and but yeah, so it put me off BMX for a long time, but I've definitely got back into it since then. I love riding my bike and just going for like cruises around the beach and stuff and whatnot. But yeah, so that was the first thing that happened to me. There was also just like scars, and like I don't have any now, but like there were scars and bruises and like grazes, and there was so much blood on me. And then my parents were like, have a bath, try and wash it off, get all the dirt off and stuff, and like I was just in so much pain. But yeah, and then the other thing that I can remember is I was at the beach one time and I almost drowned. Basically I started walking out, but then like I was with my cousin or someone and we were just walking, and then I don't know what happened, but suddenly like the water was just like really high. I don't know if it was because the sand went down and then there was a drop or something, but then like I was like literally trying to breathe and like calling out like, someone help me, and like nobody was there to help me. And then like I remember my cousin was there and she was just like laughing and like not laughing at me, but laughing because like she probably thought like I looked silly or something, but she ended up helping me out. And like I walked back because she took me to the pier part, so I just jumped on the pier and then walked back, and I was like so angry. I was just like, once again I was like just yelling and screaming, getting so angry, the fact that like I almost drowned, and yeah, it was just not a good feeling. So that was the other scary thing that happened to me. Question number 15. How is the world now different from how it was when you were a child? Okay, so there's so many things that are different between now and how I was growing up and stuff. First of all, the world is definitely like a lot more accepting and open to like so many different things nowadays. I wouldn't say the world's like sexualizing more, but like there's a lot of things that are more okay to do now that weren't back in those, like, I don't know, like for example, like if you look at some songs like Anaconda and stuff, and like people like shaking their booties and all that and whatever, like it wasn't looked up as much as it is today, if that makes sense. Just stuff like that, and people are becoming more politically correct and everything, and yeah, I don't know, I feel like how the world is now is slightly better than how it used to be, just because you know, we've got like technology and stuff, and I don't know, just a lot of people's attitudes and whatnot. So yeah, I definitely like how it is now. Hopefully it gets even better in years to come, so, but we'll see. Alrighty guys, thanks for watching my throwback tag. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, give this video a thumbs up and comment what you thought of the video. If you have you know, anything you want to say, just drop it in the comments below. And as always, do not forget to subscribe to my channel to keep updated with all the latest videos. Until my next video, I'll see you soon guys. Bye!